for judgment. Jude also makes reference to this. And Jude 1:6, and the angels which kept not their first estate, or who kept not their ark, but left their habitation, he had reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. So Jude makes reference to the same angels again. Now, to me, I think it's quite clear that the angels in question are the sons of God we read of in Genesis 6. Amen. Anyway, I don't want to use any long explanation, but let's just leave it like this. So the angels did not keep their ark, what is translated their first estates, their ark, their first. In verse 9, it speaks of Michael, the archangel. So the point is, the angels did not keep their position. They did not keep their position of power. They forsook it for pleasure. They forsook it and came down here, to have a good time, whatever they came to do. The word there is ark. It could mean first. That's why this is translated first estates. And the angels which kept not their first. But the ark there could also represent authority, like archangel, chief angel. Synagogues, chief of the synagogue, and so on and so forth. So who did not keep their position, their authority, their place of power, but came down to do whatever they came to do. So they left their habitation, they left heaven, which is supposed to be their habitation, and came down here to tabernacle. So anyway, so we have those references. But even without this, I believe that the sons of God are angels. Human beings don't mate with women and have consistently extraordinary children. Anyway, so back to Genesis 6. Now, speaking of Jude, I could have added the book of Enoch, seeing that Jude quoted Enoch. But let's just leave it at that. So the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took wives of all that they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, but that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. Now, part of the confusion that befalls this passage is the confusion with regards to Satan. Is Satan falling or not? Has he been cast out or not? So sometimes when people read 1 Peter and Jude, some will take it to be the rebellion of Satan, before the world was or something. So they don't see this one. They don't see that it is before the flood that this happened, after creation. It's not that fall of Satan before the creation of the world. Now, we have seen it here, I think, that Satan has not really been cast out of heaven, has he? No. It's quite obvious. The sons of God came to present themselves. He came with them. if Satan is the head of the rebellion, if Satan was the chief of the rebellion, I don't see how the other angels will be imprisoned and he will be on the loose. Doesn't make sense. So, anyway, we've seen it. I believe we all know it. Satan still has access. Revelation 12, he accuses our brothers before God day and night. And they rejoice when he is cast out of heaven, because he will no longer be able to accuse. He won't have access to God's presence to go accuse anybody. So, it could not have been a presumed rebellion led by Satan before the creation of the world that Peter and Jude were referring to. Okay. Anyway, so verse 3, and the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, shall not contend with man forever, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Okay. So God says he also is flesh. Man is also flesh. Man is also flesh. So who are the others that are flesh? Verse 4, the giants, the Nephilim, the children of those sons of God were also flesh. So they were also flesh. So what we see here is God has determined a judgment. This is what God is saying here. He's going to, as we've already seen anyway, he will destroy man. He's going to destroy all flesh. All flesh. Okay. So another point, before I make this other point, the daughters of men is daughters of Adam. So if the sons of God were human beings descended from Adam, it doesn't make any sense. The sons of God so that the daughters of, because if they are called sons of God, then the daughters too should be called daughters of God. If it is because they descended from Adam through Seth. It's just funny that we don't understand how it works. Does not require us to reject what is plain. Whoever these entities were, they are not us. They are not humans like us. And like I pointed out the other time, when in scriptures, when you see angels, you may not know that they are angels, but you know they are different from you. They are not like us. What's his name? When the Lord came down with two angels, Abraham recognized them. When the two men went to Sodom, the people of Sodom came after them. Obviously, they were very fine. Well, maybe not. But you already get them. Anyway, when we get to Manoah's story, Samson's story, Samson's mother, when telling her husband of the angel she saw, called him a man of God, or said, he looks like an angel of the Lord. Has she seen an angel before? Has she seen the angel of the Lord before? So how would she know that this guy looks like an angel? So it just goes to tell you, when you see them, you know them. They are not like us. They look like us, but you know that they're different. Anyway, they shall have children. However that happened, we'll see that later on. But they shall have children. Whatever. Let's just keep that in mind. We'll still come back to it some other time. So God says, my spirit will not contend with man forever. What does that mean? What does that mean? Number one, it basically means that God's spirit contended with men. The Spirit of God was striving with men, was striving with them. Amen. The Spirit of God was striving with men. So what does that mean? What does that mean? So one thing is clear. It means that there was a relationship between the men and the Spirit. There must have been an interaction, one way or another. Now, is it that they all had the Holy Spirit in them? And the Spirit will tell them, don't do that bad thing. And you say, no, I will do it. Is that it? You know, when we're younger, I don't know if maybe you guys too, Sha. When I was younger, if you have a good thought, they say it's the Spirit of God, that is talking to you. And if it's a bad thought, it is the devil. And somehow we read these things into the Bible, and so when you hear the Spirit of God will not contend, like the Spirit of God was speaking to them, but they refused to follow the Spirit. Yeah, how did the Spirit of God speak to them? How did the Spirit of God speak to them? So first things first, the Spirit of God, we know, was on earth. You don't need to be told he was on earth. Because when God created everything, the Spirit was there. So if they don't tell us he left for somewhere, why would you think he left? He was still here on earth. Amen. Just as God himself, who made the world, that is Jesus in person, who made the world, remained with his project. The Spirit through whom the world was also made will remain with his project. Amen. The world is, in a sense, a child of the Spirit, a child of Christ, a child of the Father, because they all made it. Amen. Praise God. So he was present on earth, and we already saw it in Adam. In the wisdom, Adam says, sit. That becomes striving, struggling, contending. Right? So the Spirit wanted men to do something, move in a certain direction, but men resisted. And the Spirit kept trying. Now this was before the flood, and as you can see, it's all men.